Good morning, children. After a small break, we are back again with the same topic, chapter 15, drainage system. Today, we are revising the whole chapter. Before starting today's revision, let me bring your attention towards the main point of this chapter. Let us go through the main points of this chapter. First of all, what is drainage system? We have discussed what is drainage system. It is the systematic pattern of rivers is called a drainage system. Then what do you mean by drainage pattern? The natural arrangement of a river and her tributaries are called a drainage pattern. So the next probable question will be, what is the difference between a drainage system and a drainage pattern? So when you are discussing this point, you should specify both the topics in two sides, and you should give the definition of drainage system. It is the study of the river pattern of a region. Drainage pattern is the natural arrangement of a river and her tributaries. Coming to the drainage system of India, second point is drainage system of India is divided into two parts, that is Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Second point of drainage pattern, the drainage pattern of our country is divided into four: dendritic pattern, rectangular pattern, trellis pattern and radical pattern. Now the third point is river basin. What do you mean by a river basin? Page number 114 of your textbook, first paragraph, line number 4. When a river flows through its system in any area, it is called a river basin. Then, what is a river divide? Underline the next line. When a mountain or an upland separates the flow of water from one another, it is called a water divide. Now, the next point we are going to discuss is the different stages of river. Which are the different stages of a river, or the three courses of the river? That is, the courses of the river or the stages of the river is divided into three: upper course, middle course and lower course. With the help of the diagram, it is explained in page number 114. Now, coming to the drainage system of India. Drainage system of India follows its physiography. According to that, it is divided into two: Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Now, the most important question of this chapter, write the difference between Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. For that, you have to draw the column which we have done in our lecture part 1. We have done this. Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Around 6 points we have discussed that you are supposed to mention here. Then, difference between Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Yes. Next is lakes. Now we will be discussing, after that we will be discussing first all the three Himalayan rivers, and the second section we will be discussing about the main peninsular rivers. After that, here comes the map marking. Mark any particular river or particular lake. Now, about the lakes, how lakes are formed. What are the types of lakes? Pure freshwater lake and saltwater lake. Then we will discuss about river importance and economic importance of rivers and river pollution, and the last another important point is measures to prevent water pollution. So here you can expect 3 important questions as per my experience, previous experience. Difference between Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers, then measures to prevent water pollution, and economic importance of lakes. And last one is map marking. This is 101% sure one map marking will be there from this chapter. Now we will analyze one by one in detail. As discussed earlier, drainage system. It is used for the systematic pattern of rivers. Now, next point is drainage pattern. Drainage pattern of a region, the study of the river river pattern of the region. Then natural arrangement of a river and her tributaries are called a drainage pattern. And the drainage pattern is divided into 4: dendritic pattern, rectangular pattern, trellis pattern, centrifugal or radial pattern. Now the drainage system of India. The drainage system of India follows a physiography. According to that, some of the country is having high mountains, whereas other parts it has flat plains or plateaus. Drainage pattern is dependent on the physiography of a place. Based on the physical features of India, its drainage system is divided into 2 parts: Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Moving to the most important topic of this chapter, that is the difference between Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Here you should draw 2 columns. How I have drawn in this same way you have to copy it. Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers originate from Himalayas, whereas peninsular river originate from Western Ghats. These rivers contain water throughout the year. Which river? Himalayan rivers. At the same time, peninsular river contain water only during particular season. That is why this river is called a seasonal rivers. Himalayan rivers are having water throughout the year. So, this water is called a perennial river. Whereas, peninsular rivers are having water in particular season. That is why it is called a seasonal rivers. Himalayan rivers are long and deep. At the same time, our peninsular rivers are small and shallow. Himalayan rivers cause much erosion, soil erosion, and have great flow of water. Peninsular river create very less soil erosion and also have weaker flow of water. Ganga, Brahmaputra, Satluj are the main Himalayan rivers, whereas Narmada, Sabarmati, Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, etc. are the peninsular rivers. Please make it 100% sure that you will be able to write this topic. Now moving to the main river system. There are 3 main river systems in Himalayan rivers, that is Sindhu river system, Brahmaputra river system and Ganga river system. These rivers are very long and they originate in the Himalayas. They are having many tributaries. These tributaries meet them at different places. When a large river and her tributaries met, they form a shape and that is called a system or river system. First we will analyze about the Sindhu river system. Sindhu river system is also known as Indus river system. As you know, Sindhu river originates from Manasarovar in Tibet. This is the longest river in Asia. This is about 3,180 kilometers long. This river is the national river of Pakistan. Sindhu river it first flows to north and then turns westward. It entered Ladakh district of Jammu Kashmir, formed very large number of or steep deep valleys or gorges. Different tributaries meet at different places. The main tributaries of Sindhu river is Satluj, Bes, Ravi and Jhelum. These 5 rivers meet river Sindhu near Mithankot in Pakistan, and they combinedly flows to south side and flow finally empty into Arabian Sea. About 1/3 of its basin falls in the mountainous region of Jammu Kashmir. Sindhu river, as per the treaty signed between India and Pakistan over the distribution of water of Sindhu river, India can only use 20% of its water. Remaining 80% we are giving to Pakistan. Because of the huge, this 20% water which we are getting from Sindhu river, our majority of Punjab, Haryana and southwestern parts of Rajasthan are getting harvested or getting water. Now moving to the Ganga river system. As you know, river Ganga, it originates from Manasarovar. Ganga river, it is the longest and the most important river of India. Ganga river is about 2,525 kilometers. It emerges from Gangotri area in Himalaya, merge with each other near Devprayag, that is river Bhagirathi or Alagananda के साथ mix join करके it will reach Devprayag. Devprayag is in Uttarakhand. Ganga leaves the mountainous region and enters the plain near Haridwar. You know, river Ganga flow through Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Many Himalayan rivers meet Ganga. You know, Ganga is having rivers coming from both the sides, tributaries coming from both the side and merge with Ganga. Some major tributaries are Ghagra, Gandak and Koshi. Yamuna emerges from Yamunotri in Himalaya. Flowing to the right side of Ganga, it meets with Ganga near Allahabad. That is the confluence where it is happening. The sources of Ghagra, that is the largest tributary of Ganga. River Ghagra is the largest tributary of river Ganga. Then Gandak and Koshi, this river go to Nepal. And the northern plain experience flood disaster every year. There is a heavy loss of lives and property in some areas, yet India has been able to maintain prosperity in agriculture through the fertile plains formed by these rivers. Rivers like Chambal, Betwa, they also originate in the Peninsular Plateau and meet Yamuna. Son, river meet Ganga. These rivers originate in the semi-desert region. Their flow length is shorter and have limited volume of water. The combined flow of these rivers from north in and south is divided into two branches. One branch enters Bangladesh. When it enters Bangladesh, Bangladesh, and here it is known as Padma. Another branch is known as Bhagirathi Hooghly in West Bengal. Finally, these two branches meet the Bay of Bengal. The flow of Ganga in Bangladesh is known as Padma. This emerges there with Brahmaputra, and their combined flow is called Meghna. The Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the most fertile delta and it is known as Sundarban. Why this region is called Sundarban? Because Sundari trees grow in large number. Sundari trees are used for making or manufacturing boats. Sundarban delta is more famous as mangrove delta, mangrove forest. Mangrove forest, they are helping in preventing soil erosion as well as they are a very good helpers during the time of flood and tsunamis. Okay. Now the next one is Brahmaputra river. River Brahmaputra originates in the Manasarovar region in Tibet. It will reach, it travels through China and enters India. It enters India. Where it enters? It enters at Arunachal Pradesh. Till then, from Arunachal Pradesh, it is known as Brahmaputra. Once it enters Arunachal Pradesh, it is known as, this river is known as Dihang. After that, from Arunachal Pradesh, it reaches Assam. In Assam, again it is known as Brahmaputra. From Assam, it enters through Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, this is known as Jamuna. And from Jamuna, from Bangladesh, it enters, it have a meeting with the lower Ganga side and there it is known as Padma. And finally, it comes to Bay of Bengal and after that, before that it is known as Meghna. I hope you understood this one, the flow. So, river Brahmaputra flows through China, India and Bangladesh. And it is about 3,848 kilometers long. This is the only river with a masculine name. Brahmaputra is known as Sangpo in Tibet and Jamuna in Bangladesh. Majuli is an island in Brahmaputra. This is the largest riverine island in the world. This much about river, Himalayan rivers. In the map of India, you can see all the important rivers. It is very important. ये मैप आपको बाय हार्ट रखना है. कोई भी एक आपको मार्क करने के लिए आएगा. Either river, otherwise lakes. Moving to the peninsular rivers. Western Ghats is considered to be the main water divide for peninsular rivers. Major rivers of this peninsular rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, etc. These rivers mainly flow eastwards and meet the Bay of Bengal, whereas Narmada and Tapi flow from east to west and meet Arabian Sea. The first peninsular river for our discussion is Narmada Basin or Narmada River. It originates near Amarkantak Plateau in Madhya Pradesh, flows through the rocky terrain of marbles near Jabalpur, flows faster due to the slopes, and the Dudar Falls is the famous falls of Narmada river. Coming to Tapi river, Satpura ranges are located in Madhya Pradesh. It originates in Betul district, flows parallel to Narmada and meet Arabian Sea. The largest of the peninsular river is the Godavari river, which is about 1465 km. 50% of its basin lies in Maharashtra and rest in Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. This river is known as the Ganga of South because of the longer flow and the large basin. Coming to Mahanadi river, Mahanadi originates in the mountainous areas of Chhattisgarh, flows through Odisha and finally meet with Bay of Bengal. Krishna river originates in Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra, travels around 1400 km and its basin extends in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Kaveri river originates in the Brahmagiri range in Western Ghats and is about 760 km long. It extends in its basin extends in Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and meet Bay of Bengal. So these are about the peninsular rivers, and you are supposed to mark this peninsular rivers in the map of India. So be clear about all these things. Lakes. There are many lakes in India. A lake is an area filled with water localized in a basin surrounded by land apart from any river or other outlet that serves to feed or drain the lake. Lake lies on land and not part of the ocean. India is a country blessed with notable lakes. Lake Palace in Pichoda, Udaipur, Dal Lake of Jammu Kashmir, Kerala, many lakes we are having. We can divide the lakes into two, freshwater lake and saltwater lake. Again the freshwater lake we can divide it into two, that is natural freshwater and man-made freshwater. These natural freshwater lakes, they are formed because of the different activities like glacial activity, tectonic movements, craters and oxbow. These are the different ways where natural freshwaters are formed. Man-made freshwater lakes are the reservoirs and the dams or the embankments. These are the ways in which lakes are formed. Then another type of lake is saltwater lake. In our country we are having lots of saltwater lake that we will discuss in the next section. So, India is a country blessed with lots of lakes, either formed due to glacial movements, tectonic movement or crater movements or oxbow movement. In the map of India, you can see the major lakes which we are supposed to study for map marking. What is the importance of lakes? As you know, lakes are very useful for us. We are not able to limit the use of water or lakes. Some rivers have originated from lakes. in the region which have more rain, more water can be accumulated. The accumulated water we are using for irrigation and other purposes. The stored water can also be used during drought, summer season. Reservoirs and lakes formed due to dam are useful for generating hydroelectric power. Few lakes are having the most beautiful, the natural beauty. So this will attract tourists. Lakes are also important for fishery and as well as tourist resorts. The economic importance of rivers. As you know, our ancient civilization flourished on the bank of rivers. Rivers have the most important position in human history. This is the natural source of water. These are very important for our activities. This one is providing the basic need of man. Agricultural industries have developed on the bank of rivers. Major cities have developed along the river banks. River is considered a base for a country like India because we are agrarian country. We are using the river water for drinking, irrigation, hydel power, navigation, etc. The most dangerous problem which we are facing is river water pollution. In the past, we used not only in past, now also for us river is Lok Mata because river water we are using for domestic activities, agricultural activities, industrial production, etc., etc., etc. As per our culture, river is very holy. That is why we call river as Lok Mata. But what is happening to our rivers nowadays? We are releasing industrial effluents, sewage water, solid waste, etc. into the river water and we are polluting our river. Water pollution increases due to industrialization and urbanization. Pollution of river water has become our national problem. You know about our river Vishwamitri. This is the river which is having 0% oxygen, where fishes are not able to live. So government is trying the level best to prevent river pollution. At this stage, public participation is equally expected. हमारा भी help होना ही चाहिए, otherwise government can't do anything. The most important topic, second most important topic, that is measures to prevent water pollution. Rules to prevent water pollution should be implemented very strictly. Water purification projects must be implemented. For that, government has constructed or introduced NCRP, National River Conservation Project. Strict rules should be formed to prevent industrial units from releasing industrial effluents in the river. Industrial units should filter harmful content from the chemical effluents before releasing them into the river. In order to keep the river water clean, every citizen should take care not to mix up domestic waste into the river. It is our duty. As a citizen of India, it is our duty to preserve and protect our rivers because rivers are the lifeline of our country. Conserve water by turning off the tap when running water is not necessary. This helps to prevent water shortages and reduces the amount of contaminated water that needs treatment. Be careful about what you throw down your sink or toilet, or don't throw paints, oils or other forms of litter down the drain. Why should we prevent water pollution? Preventing water pollution and conserving water are important to assure a continuing abundance of water that is safe to use for ourselves and for our future generation. Water pollution is any human caused contamination of water that reduces its usefulness to humans and other organisms in nature. You know what are the effects of pollution, this type of water pollution? You know what our next generation will do if this much of pollution is happening, where our children will go for drinking or for other needs. So it is our duty to preserve the water. Already we have started many steps. For example, we are moving with we completed the first stage of Ganga river purification, and now we are introduced with the second stage of Ganga river purification. So different projects we are having. At the same time, we should be aware that should not throw any waste into the river and don't pollute our river. The chart which I prepared here, you can see a wide explanation about freshwater lakes and saltwater lake. It is clear for you that lakes, there are two types of lakes, freshwater lake and saltwater lake. In freshwater lake, we are having two divisions, that is natural freshwater lake and man-made freshwater lake. Natural freshwater lake, they are formed because of the different activities of on the surface of the earth, like the glacial formation, tectonic movement, craters and oxbow. Oxbow is also known as horseshoe. That's so we have discussed. So these are the different lakes in different parts of our country. You will be able to see Gobind Sagar in Himachal Pradesh, Indira Sagar freshwater lake in Madhya Pradesh, Sardar Sarovar in Gujarat, Shivaji Sagar in Maharashtra. This is the largest freshwater lake of India. Nath Sagar also in Maharashtra, Nagarjuna Sagar in Andhra Pradesh, Diwar in Rajasthan, Vular in Kashmir. That is the largest freshwater lake formed because of tectonic movement. And the Dal freshwater lake of Kashmir. Kanwar freshwater lake of Odisha. This is an example for Oxbow lake. Loktak freshwater lake in Manipur. This is the only floating lake in the world. Here we have studied in the previous geography chapter about the Kabul Lamjo National Park is situated, where Sangai deers, extinguishing species of Sangai deers are preserved in Kabul Lamjo National Park of Manipur. Then Koleru in that is in Andhra Pradesh, that is the largest shallow freshwater lake, and the Vaintala lake of Kerala, that's an example for Oxbow lake. Now come to the man-made freshwater man-made freshwater lakes, that is the dams and the reservoirs which we have constructed. Now come to the saltwater lakes which we are having. The first and the most important one is of Odisha, that is the largest brackish water lagoon, that is Chilika Lake. Then in the border of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, we will see the second largest brackish lagoon, that is Pulikat. Then coming to Kerala, the longest lake in India with mangroves, bird sanctuaries, islands, water backwaters, etc. You will see the Vembanad saltwater lake. Then in Maharashtra, you will see the Lonar. You know how this Lonar saltwater lake formed? Because of the asteroid collision happened many years back. Then coming to the largest inland saltwater lake in India is the Sambar lake of Rajasthan in Ajmer. Then Panchpadra lake, that is also in Rajasthan. You know the speciality of this lake, it is having 98% of water is having sodium chloride, the sodium chloride level is at 98%. And in Himalayas, you will see the Pangon So lake, This is also a salt water lake. You will feel wonder because in Himalaya salt water lake is there. You know the speciality of this. This lake is having the color blue at some times, and then it will change into green, and later it will change into red color. This lake is found in Himalayan range. It is at the border of India, China and Tibet. That region it is having this lake, Pangon Zo lake. So these are the different lakes in our country. So lakes, they are divided into two, freshwater lake and a saltwater lake. In our textbook, we are having supposed to study some important lakes. So study this particular lakes which I have given in the previous map, and understand the place where it is, mark it properly, it will come for the examination. Now another important topic from this chapter, you will get 1 mark for map in this chapter, and that is about marking any one river you will get, otherwise you will get any one lake. The most important points for river and lake I have marked here. In your notebook you are supposed to mark this. Already you have marked it and pasted in your notebook, that's enough, but this is an important topic for you. I hope that this chapter is clear for you. Complete the notes. Already we have discussed in the previous 3 videos. The notebook should be complete. Important questions should be there. MCQs, fill in the blanks, name the followings, and map is compulsory from this chapter, and the map book is also compulsory. Okay, I hope it is clear for you. Thank you. Stay safe.